cracking, everyone? My name is Eric, and today we are looking at UI tweening. UI tweening is the process of animating your UI movement. A few videos ago, we looked at UI basics. So I've decided to make it a series because there's a lot to cover on the UI stuff. This is gonna be the second video in the UI series, with the UI basics being the first one. Um, I'd recommend watching the UI basics video, because in here we will talk about things that it covers, or in general just know about what anchor points is, those basic UI things. So as you can see here, I've already set up a test button and a frame. So I haven't done anything else. But yeah, you can see I've got my screen UI called tests. This is going to be the frame over here. I've set the anchor point to be in the middle, and its position to be in the center of the y-axis, and 0.1 along the x-axis. Size is just 0.1. Oh wait, yeah, I made that. Actually, I'm gonna change that real quick. I forgot to do that. So as you can see, the frame is now 0.1, 0.1 in scaling on both sides. I gave it a border size pixel of 3, just so it looks a little better. But yeah, that's it. Same under the text button. Border size pixel of 3. Anchor point is 1.1. Yeah, all that stuff you can see. I've set the size to 35. So this is basically to cover all I did beforehand. But yeah, as I said, this video is gonna show you how to tween. So tweening is short for in-betweening. So it works in the way that you define the frame in the middle of two key sequences. So in my example, I want to move this over here. So I make a command which will give its endpoint here in the middle, and then it will animate over here in different styles. Kind of confusing. I apologize for that. But yeah, you'll also notice that in my UI basics video, I made a shop design as I showed you as an example. The tweening is supposed to fix that. You might have noticed that the shop just kind of opens and closes, and that's not what we want. We want to animate a little bit, spice up. So anyway, sorry for rambling that long. Let's get straight into it. So we want to create a local script, of course, under the text button. So I'm just gonna rename this quick. Remember to rename your things. I'm just gonna call it test script, like that. So we're inside the test script. So once again, this also, of course, assumes just basic scripting. Everything in this, everything I show here should be understandable if you watch the scripting basics and UI basics video, or just any other video explaining those same things. Doesn't have to be me. But yeah, we're gonna establish a variable for our frame that we want to move. So we say local frame equals, and then script.parent and then our name of the name of our frame, which is frame. So you can see script.parent. Now we have the screen UI and that frame. So now we've got the frame. So now we can create a function for when the button gets clicked. So that's pretty simple. I showed that last time in the UI basics video, but yeah, script.parent. Script.parent mouse button when click connect function. You don't have to understand this necessarily. Not the connect function part. I'm gonna do another video on functions. But yeah, hopefully this should be somewhat understandable. You take the script parent, which is the button, and then the text when it's being clicked by a mouse button 1, which is I screwed it up. Sorry, like that, and then another set of brackets. So it does that. Yeah. So everything that happens here happens when we click the button. So we obviously want to move the frame. So let's first look at tweening the position. So in my case, I want to move it over here in the middle. So I say frame, and then I use colon because it's a command, and then I say tween position. So now we have frame, tween position, and now we need to specify where we want to move it. So we do this by declaring a udim2 value. I'm not sure what the U is for, but basically it's two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. So and then we make a new one, and then we need to specify where the position is. And I want to make it the middle. So I say 0.5, 0, 0.50. This is basically the same as setting the position under the properties menu. You can see it's the same as if I said 0.50, 0.50. Right now it's 0.10, 0.50. So we want to change that. We do it this way. So yeah, that should be it. So now we've tweened the position of the frame to be in the middle of the screen when we click the button. So let's test that out. Yeah. Okay, so it's loading the game, and we are spawned in. So you can see I've got my character here that would just load. So we've got our frame, and we've got our test button. So if we click it, you'll notice that it kind of glides over here just like we want it to. So that's great. Next up, we probably want to change you can also change the size of it. So for that, I'm gonna move the frame to be set in the at the center of the screen per standard. So you can see that I just did that simply by changing the property. So now it's in the middle of the screen. So now pretty similar to before, we say frame colon and then tween, of course, size now, and we say udim2.new. And yeah, and then we specify it again. Once again, this is the same as changing the size from the properties. So when we change it, it should expand from 0.1 on each axis to 0.3 on each axis, as you just saw there. So if we just wait for it to load, and it's loaded. So now we've got the frame in the middle, as I've set it to the properties before, and our test button. So if we click it, you'll notice that it expands just like we set it to. So oh sorry, oops, I accidentally tapped A on my keyboard. But yeah, maybe you want to move it and change the size. Here, if we move it back, for that you can use tween size and position. But first I'm gonna do this. So I just read the article to kind of refresh my knowledge of tweening, and there's a command called tween size frame, and then tween size and position in one. So I thought that would be different to manually saying first tween position and then size, or reverse order. So I tested it out, and actually it doesn't make a difference. Here, I'll show you. So if we say tween size and then udim.2 new, and then we specify the new udim2 value, which is our size. So now it first sets the position, and then it sets the size. So when I did some testing before recording, I thought that this would first move the position, first complete this line, and then scale it up. So it moves all the way here, doesn't expand, and then when it's over here, it expands. Actually, no, if we just take a look at this, it will do both simultaneously, as you can see. If we just wait for it to load in once again. So now we're here. So you'll notice that when I click this button, it expands while moving to our position. So actually it's not different to doing tween size and position. So I've talked about tween size and position. I'm just showing it here. So it's kind of similar to before, except you just have it in one line. So first you specify the size value, which is udim2.new, and then once again our size as per usual. And then you say comma, and then your position value. So basically the two same things as before, except yeah, you're just combining it into one. You'll notice that if I playtest it now, it actually won't be different from just doing the two lines separately or manually. I actually thought it would be different, but it's not, because if you type it out in two different lines, it will do one thing first. Yeah, sorry if I'm rambling a bit, but yeah, you can see it did the exact same thing as before. So whether you do whether you first tween the size, or first tween the position and then the other one, or you just do tween size and position in one, it doesn't really matter. And another thing, you can also use variables to specify it. So you'll notice that if I say tween position, I say udim.to.new, which means we're basically creating a new udim2 value in here. So you can actually make that simpler by just establishing a position value, which is sorry, that was a typo. Local position equals, and then you have and then you can say define the udim.to.new up here, which will be the exact same. So if we just do that, so and that way when we reach this point, instead of saying udim and then creating a new udim2 value and then specifying that udim2 value, you can just insert the name of our position variable, I think. So if we just like that. So let's test that out. So yeah, whether you want to do tween position and tween size in one command with the tween size and position command, or in two different lines, really depends on what you do, and same goes for variables. If you don't want to create a variable for this, you can just do that. You can also create a variable. But yeah, you'll notice that it moved position despite us having a variable, because the variable contained our desired position. So, and then we have different styles of moving. So let's say you want to kind of move it differently. So right now it's just there's only kind of one way to animate it. So you have different easing directions and easing styles. So direction is like how the speed goes. So for example, with the easing direction, you can change if it goes faster in the start than in the end. So it starts at high speed and then slows down while it reaches the end, or something like that. And then you have the easing styles, which is basically like how the animation is overall. So I'm just gonna show you this. So I'm just gonna insert the position variable because we've already got that in place. So keep in mind, the position variable is the same as just writing udim.to.new and then specifying your desired position. I'm just doing this to keep it simple, but yeah. And then after that you do comma, and then you say enum dot easing direction dot, and then the easing direction, of course, you want. So you have in, you have out, you have in out. So if you choose in, it's gonna go faster in the end and slower in the start. So it will go slow and then speed up. Out is the opposite. It goes at high speed and then slows down. In out, if you use the in out easing direction, it will start at high speed, slow down, and then go at high speed again. So yeah, I'll link the article to Tweening. There are two tables with all the easing directions and all easing styles. But yeah, so this enum easing direction has to be within the tween position bracket. But yeah, if we look at it now, it should be kind of different. But yeah, I'll also start linking the appropriate articles I can find in my future tutorials. But yeah, you can check the Roblox Developer Hub tutorial out or article out on Tweening. So yeah, if I click that button, you'll notice that it started moving and then it kind of sped up just like I wanted it to. So I actually didn't look at at a different. I didn't look that much at easing styles, but we can also try that. I know there's one called bounce. So if we try that, it should also look a bit different. And keep in mind, I just removed the easing direction, which is in, so it's gonna look the way we did before we changed the easing directions. Yeah, once again, sorry if I'm talking a little much. There's just a lot to cover here, and yeah. But let's check it out. You'll notice that it doesn't work. Well, that's embarrassing. Anyway, we can let that be. That's kind of weird. Easing style. But anyway, you have easing direction and easing styles. So yeah, I'll link the Developer Hub articles on Tweening where you can see all easing directions and styles. But yeah, that was the main things about easing. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.